Jeffrey Epstein?
It's clear someone did. And so you have to then look at what was the situation. Like I said earlier, everyone is expendable. And, there are some who believe he's still alive and it was all a scam and he's, somewhere else and maybe had a face change. I don't know. I wouldn't rule anything out with these people. But on the face of it, he was.
When you say these people with as much specificity as possible, who are these people?
They are basically agents and gophers of this global cult, and which is orchestrating it all, and to whom everybody that serves it is expendable. So the reason Savile was never taken out is because he was considered safe, and he was, and they watched his back because if he went down, lots of these people went down with him. And so you had a situation with Epstein where he's in this jail in New York and he's awaiting trial, which would have generated enormous amounts of publicity, obviously, and questions. And then suddenly he's not alive anymore. So it was pretty obvious that he was taken out. Exactly by whom, on exactly whose say so. Well, we don't know that, but you
What's your best guess?
you talk to um, or you listen to people who've been in those cells who say it was impossible to commit suicide in those cells, and you had the two guys who fell asleep and all that stuff. So there's they revealed the footage of from the prison of his door or whatever, and there's bits missing, and none of it makes sense because none of it is true. But in terms of who was behind it specifically, well, uh, look at who had most to lose. But in the end, it's the shadow people you never see that make these things happen. If you could see them in the public arena, I don't care if they're Jimmy Savile or Donald Trump or Jeffrey Epstein, they're still gophers. The shadow is where the shadows is where it's all coming from, and so you have um, Obama in office, and you have Biden in office, Democrats, and you have Trump in office, Republican. Um, but they come and go. They're here today, gone tomorrow. Politicians, but the shadow people are always there, and that they're the ones that are driving it.
Are the shadow people labelless, titleless, ineffable? Or is it Bilderberg Group? Is it World Economic Forum? Is it Freemasons? Is it reptile people? Is that all different words for the same thing? With as much specificity as possible, like how do we identify the shadows?
It's all in the end the same network if you go deep enough. Uh, how I describe it, this global cult, is you can visualize it as a spider's web around the planet, and all these different strands in the web are either secret societies, semi-secret groups, by which I mean they they're known if you want to do the modicum of research, but you don't know what they do um, outside of the public eye. And others are in the web are public organizations, their governments, their financial operations, their banks, their corporations. And in the middle of the web is what I call the spider. And that spider ultimately is not even in this dimension, it's in another dimension, what people call the astral dimension. Um, these are the so-called gods of the ancient world. If you look around the ancient world, you find pantheons of gods everywhere, called under different names, but you don't do enough research and you realize they're talking about the same entities. And the strands in the web in this reality are the most, around the spider, are the most exclusive secret societies. And they won't often have names. It makes them very, very difficult to track. And as you come out from the spider, you then hit this part of the web, still in the hidden, where you see the secret societies we do know about. That's where you get the Freemasons. That's where you get the Knights Templar, the Knights of Malta, Opus Dei, the inner core of the Jesuit order, and so on. The Skull and Bones Society in America, outside Yale University, of which people like Father George Bush, president, and Boy George Bush, president, were initiates. And their job, the hidden part of the web, is to take this this agenda, which is coming from the spider, out into the wider world. And then you come to the point in the web that I call the cusp in the web. This is where the hidden part of the web meets the seen. And in that cusp, you have the World Economic Forum, formerly run by Klaus Schwab. You have the Bilderberg Group. You have the Council on Foreign Relations. You have the Trilateral Commission. You have the Club of Rome that was established in 1968 to use the environment and environmental concerns as a justification of the centralization of global power. That's where, and with other environmental groups, the whole global warming thing came from. And also in that cusp part of the web, you have all these non-governmental organizations, many of the big ones funded by George Soros, and you have think tanks. And their job, although most of them in it don't realize that this way that manipulation works, their job is to take the agenda for the world from the spider coming out of the hidden and to play it out in the public arena through governments, government agencies, corporations, etc., banking systems. And so if you then look from this perspective at the world that we see, there appears to be endless organizations, and they don't seem to be connected. But if you go deep enough in them, you reach that point where they attach to the web. And at that point, they are the same organization pursuing the same agenda.
Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed that episode, you might also enjoy this episode over here, as well as this one over here. Thank you for subscribing. Appreciate you. I'll see you in the next video.